Thanks again for tuning into Moonshine Gaming. Today we're going to be discussing the top 5 best-selling video games of all time. Now there are a few parameters we're going to be using for this list as per usual. We're going to be basing this list on total copies sold. So revenue from in-game currency and loot boxes and stuff not going to be included. It's just based on the amount of copies sold. And also free downloads obviously aren't going to be included because the games have to have actually been purchased for them to be included in these sales numbers. So without further ado, let's get into it. First up, we've got PlayerUnknown Battlegrounds. This is a battle royale style shooter that was initially released in 2017 for the Windows. Despite the fact that it was only published 4 years ago in 2017, this game sneaks its way into our top 5, and because the game is still available for purchase now, the sales numbers are still growing. As stated before, the game is a battle royale style arena shooter in which a large number of online players compete to see who will be the last man standing. The game was allegedly inspired by the Japanese film Battle Royale, which is also said to have influenced the Hunger Games. In 2018, the game was released as a free-to-play mobile game, so technically these free downloads do not count towards the sales numbers, but the game was still downloaded over a whopping 1 billion times, making it one of the most downloaded mobile games of all time. This game sold 71 million copies and counting. Next up, we've got Wii Sports. This is a sports game that was released in 2006 for the Nintendo Wii. I think it's safe to say that Wii Sports is one of the most influential games of our time. Not only did it redefine gaming and convert sports into a virtual reality, but it also helped Nintendo reclaim the top spot with Wii sales. The game's sequel, Wii Sports Resort, was also a huge hit, selling over 33 million copies. Anyone who owned a Wii in the mid-2000s may recall bowling, baseball, and even boxing against their loved ones in the comfort of their own home. The game was so successful that it was adapted into films and television shows, including The Big Bang Theory and more. Wii Sports was a cultural phenomenon as well as a game. Wii Sports is Nintendo's best-selling game ever, according to official sales numbers, and while every game on this list was bundled with a system at some point, Wii Sports was bundled with the Nintendo Wii in practically every territory right at the launch of the system. It currently stands as the best-selling single-platform exclusive game of all time. This game sold 82.9 million copies. Next up, we've got Grand Theft Auto 5. This is a crime-heavy action-adventure game that was initially released for the PS3 and Xbox 360 in 2013. For many people, when they think of gaming, they immediately think of the Grand Theft Auto franchise. It's the ideal blend of action, combat, open-world adventure, and narrative. It's the epitome of what a fantastic game can be, and the franchise's massive sales figures confirm that. GTA 3, Vice City, and GTA 4 are all critically acclaimed and among the most popular video games of all time. GTA 5, on the other hand, has outsold all of them and continues to sell copies to this day. Due to all the re-releases and different editions of the game, it's currently available across 7 platforms, including PS3, 360, PS4, Xbox One, PS5, Xbox X, and Windows. And I'm sure these won't be the last consoles and platforms that it'll be released on. While being third on the list of all-time best-selling games, Grand Theft Auto 5 boasts an even more desired title: the most profitable entertainment release of all time. It's earned over $6 billion in income as of April 2018, a figure that's obviously gone up since then with all the re-releases. This game has sold 150 million copies and counting.
But I don't think that he is man enough for a car like this.
Wait a second.
This guy right here, him? Get him a hybrid. That's a real man's car.
I think you are right, Lamar. You get a tax rebate. I understand. Money is an issue.
Hello. Now a quick word from the sponsor of this video. No, I'm just kidding. Nobody's sponsoring this tiny channel. But if you enjoy content like this, we put out video game related content every single Thursday, and you can consider subscribing to Moonshine Gaming to stay up to date with future videos. Back to the list. Next up, we've got Minecraft. This is a creative sandbox game that was initially released for PC, Android, and iOS all the way back in 2011. Minecraft's concept may appear simple. It's essentially like playing with virtual Legos. Players can take blocks and build whatever they want with them. However, the game was much more than just that. The music was soothing and appealing, the scenery was stunning, and the panoramic views of the magnificent structures like castles, skyscrapers, and roller coasters were spectacular. Minecraft is so powerful because it can transform into anything the gamer desires. The gameplay is guided by the player's imagination. The game's also benefited quite a bit from social media, like YouTube, Instagram, and TikTok, which have allowed players to show off their insane creations to the rest of the world. Currently spanning across over 10 platforms, and with film, Netflix, book, education, toy, and other projects either completed or in the works, Minecraft has transcended the medium in a way that few other games have. This game has sold 200 million copies and counting. Next up, number 1, Tetris. This is a puzzle game that was initially released for the Electronica 60 in Russia in 1984. Quick disclaimer before we get into it, I'm going to start by saying that there is some controversy about whether the sales figures from Tetris's many variations should be combined, although even if we did separate its various iterations, sales numbers from the mobile version alone would put it at the top of this list anyways. Tetris has been around for decades and has been ported to practically every electronic gadget ever created. Available for over 50 different platforms currently, it started off as a computer game before moving on to consoles like NES and Genesis. It was even made into an arcade game, and it was a huge hit on Nintendo's handheld Game Boy, selling over 35 million copies alone for Nintendo's first handheld system with interchangeable games. While an exact sales figure is unavailable and likely difficult to determine given the game's multiple variants and platforms, Tetris's managing director Hank Rogers told VentureBeat that the game had 425 million paid smartphone downloads and around 70 million physical game sales. Given that these figures were released in 2014, I think it's safe to say that sales are well into the 500 millions. Simply said, everyone's played Tetris, which has sold hundreds of millions of copies worldwide. Surprisingly, it's still popular and relevant today, despite being nearly 40 years old. It's a simple puzzle game that's addictive, tough, and a lot of fun, so it's easy to see why so many gamers still enjoy it. This game sold 500 million copies and counting. I want to stop and give a quick thank you to all the new subscribers and everyone who's been here since day one. We're growing like crazy. We're almost at 2,000 subscribers, so thank you guys so much. You're making my dreams come true. And we will actually be doing a giveaway at 2,000 subscribers, so just stay tuned in future videos and community posts or over on my Instagram, because we'll be giving more information on that when we hit 2,000 subscribers. We're only about 50 away now, so we're really close. So thank you guys so much. And that's going to do it for this video, so we will see you next time.